This episode of Model Behaviour is dedicated to the loving memory of John Romita Sr. Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news. First up, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm wearing a tank top because it's June, and in Japan, June is the rainy season, and it is as hot as the surface of the sun and twice as muggy. So sleeves, they're out of the question. So for the foreseeable future, you'll be getting tank top, dad at the beach looking Dave. And you know what? I'm going to own it. So our first story is going to be the Marvel Legends reveal of Space Knight, Venom, and Mania. I covered this in a video yesterday, so we'll be real quick. Target exclusive, $55.99. And you know what? I like what I see here. Why? Well, mainly because it's $55.99. Like, that's actually a reasonable price for a 2-pack when it is a regular sized figure plus a chonky figure. That's £30 for the chonk, $25 for the regular. So it seems like prices are going back down to normal. And I'm not going to credit Hasbro for jacking up prices and then reducing them to a normal level. I'm not going to reward you for being awful and then stopping being awful. However, I will just say I'm happy that now things have returned to a normal thing and not bizarro world where they were before. Also, I gotta say, these both look really nice. I'm glad that people are getting the chance to get a bath again, but with some zhuzhed up features. And Mania is just a cool looking character. It's kind of funny though that every time we get a reveal, if it's a common character like Spider-Man or Iron Man, I always see in the comments people saying, oh, we're getting the same character again. Why do they keep remaking the same character over and over? Oh, it's another Deadpool, another Wolverine. And then when they do a character like Space Knight, Venom, or Mania, all I see are people going, who asked for this? I don't even know who this is. Well, that's an easy pass for me. I'm like, come on, guys. You can't please all the people all the time, but sometimes you can't please any of the people any of the time. And also, this is going to be me defending Hasbro. No, I'm not defending Hasbro. I'm just calling it like I see it. Ah! Something completely different now. NECA have revealed their con-exclusive Creature from the Black Lagoon glow-in-the-dark figure. This is just another iteration on their original Creature from the Black Lagoon, but hey, guess what? As the name implies, he glows in the dark, and that's kind of fun. I like what they've done. He's bright, colourful, vibrant. I give him quality and credit for that. I don't know why I'm giving him quality for that. That doesn't even make sense in that context, but there you go. He's a fun-looking figure, going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but also sometimes retailers get hold of these as well. So keep your peoples peeled. Wow, I'm really going off the rails here today. Keep an eye out for this guy. NECA, going back to the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, have revealed their Samurai Turtles 4-pack. Now, this is going to be available, obviously, at the con, but also they are going to put up limited quantities on their website as well. And I got to say, even though that is clearly Ninja Turtles 3 is a big downgrade movie quality wise from the original, some of the designs are still fun, even if the puppetry wasn't as good as it used to be. But the turtles in all of their samurai gear in action figure form, they look great, and they come with so many accessories. You can play around with the different designs and the customize the costumes, and I love the samurai warrior faceplate masks and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool looking. I dig this. $150. So again, more high end, but not crazy. Don't get me wrong. Still expensive, but when you look at the NECA quality you get with the paintwork and the sculpting and just the itty bitty minute detail, they look absolutely gorgeous. I'm just talking a bit longer so you can take a better look at these pictures because I want to showcase them more because dang it, they look so pretty. Well done, NECA. A lot of people have been asking for these Samurai Turtles, and now we got them, and they seem to be living up to the expectations. I think these look beautiful. And in the first quarter of next year, you can get yourself a Knuckles figure from the Good Smile Company, Nendroid, to be specific. This is going to be $50, and hey, It's a cute, fun, chibi-looking Knuckles. And look, the Knuckles design, well, the Sonic characters in general, are kind of chibi anyway. So actually, it's just the typical design, really. And he looks super cute. I've got a lot of love for Nendroid and Good Smile, because I just like the very smooth, detailed articulation that they've got. But they look like just static pops in pictures, and then you realize there's actually a lot more to them than that, with fun little accessories, good articulation, and just a level of quality that I appreciate in my chibi cartoony action figure. So yeah, for $50, Knuckles looks super fun. Over to McFarlane now, and they have got a couple of big chunky previews. First of all, we've got the Justice Buster mega figure. McFarlane always kill it with the mega figures. And basically, with me personally, if it's not a human looking character, if it's monstrous or robotic, I'm gonna have a bit more time for it. The Justice Buster, I don't know what it is, but it looks badass. Looks like a Batman creation. If I was in the Justice League, I wouldn't be too cool with this Justice Buster being brought onto the scene. If I was Superman, I'd be like, hey, Batman, why have you made this giant mech called the Justice Buster? Are you trying to bust the Justice League? What? No, what would make you think that? Oh, you know, remember that Tower of Babel story where you came up with different ways of killing us? Oh, that was a contingency thing. Yeah, well, it worked. No, well, I'm going to bust justice. I'm going to bust bad guys alongside the Justice League. That's what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Why does that label say anti-Superman canon? Oh no, that's a canon for anyone who is anti-Superman. I don't trust you, Bruce. And not to be outdone by themselves, McFarlane have also revealed a preview of their Anti-Monitor figure. If the Justice Buster isn't bright and colourful enough for you, don't worry, we've got this crazy looking guy. I'm slowly getting more into DC kind of via the action figures. The more pretty DC figures I get, the more I'm like, I want to learn about these guys. The Anti-Monitor, I got no idea. He looks like a big badass cosmic level threat, but that's all I can tell you. He looks kind of amusing, like an interesting, fun, slightly goofy, wacky kind of design. I'm here for it though. So more pictures obviously going to be released very, very soon. In the meantime though, this is kind of a fun, bright, colourful, chonky preview. Sticking with McFarlane, they are re-releasing some old figures as Entertainment Earth exclusive Black Light figures. So we're getting a Black Light Joker, which is just the same Joker that we've had before, but in these kind of neon colors, which I'm guessing will glow under black light. Honestly, I could imagine nothing worse than shining a black light in my bedroom. Just saying, that's not a Pandora's box that I want to open. However, this Joker does look fun, bright, colourful, popping. It is like those Funko Pops that are just weird colour combinations of something that already exists. If you want it as an unusual little accessory to your collection, well, there you go. And Joker's not the only one getting the blacklight treatment. We are also getting a blacklight Scarecrow as well. And this weird Ronin samurai looking Scarecrow, I don't know the story he comes from, but I do really like the design. I would have been tempted to get the original figure if the paintwork had a bit more of a wash or a dry brush to just make it feel more alive, but it didn't. So I walked away. However, this disco biscuit in the club raving till the small hours of the morning, the sun comes up Scarecrow, again, just like the Joker, he's fun, he's not an essential, but if you want something unusual for your shelf, this is definitely, it's a pretty unusual pick. You know what? I kind of like it. Mondo have revealed a teaser image for their version 2 Skeletor. So the original Skeletor looked incredible. 1/6 scale, he was about $225, I think. I can't entirely remember, just going off of memory there, and we're talking about my memory, so we're going to be struggling. But basically, it's beautiful. Just like the animated X-Men figures, they throw all the accessories, all the different heads and sculpts, and all these fun things that you can display it with. So if they're doing a version 2, that means they would have tweaked the original to perfection. I'm interested to see what this is going to look like when he comes out. The preview picture, whew, looks pretty badass. Over in G.I. Joe news now, we've got a couple of little sneaky peeky reveals and leaks here. First up, there's the Tunnel Rat figure, who I think is going to be part of the next wave coming out. I don't always get all the information to hand at the time of doing this filming, because I get things sent to me in my inbox and my feeds and all that kind of stuff with just little write-ups and descriptions. Usually I recommend the Froosh or TNI News or Dave Wheeler. Those guys have a lot of the facts. I have more of the banter. So you come here for the good times and the bants, and you go there for the actual pertinent information. Although actually, Frush is pretty good with the banter too. So's Dave Wheeler. Actually, I'm not entirely sure what I bring to the table, but you keep coming back, so let's keep on going. So joining Tunnel Rat, we also have Desert Commando Snake Eyes, and there you go. I think he might be a fan channel exclusive, but if you want another Snake Eyes, but this time in his desert combat gear, kind of like Malibu Barbie in her different sort of, iterations, it's like, this is going to the beach, this is going to the salon, this is Snake Eyes goes to the desert, but he comes with all the additional weapons and extras that you've come to expect. It's not a groundbreakingly exciting figure, I don't think, but if you're a G.I. Joe completionist, then of course you're gonna want this. Going over to Mezco now, they have revealed their Void Cadet Gomez figure, and you know what? This is another little interesting kind of side line that Mezco might be kicking off. I know Mezco, they have their problems and their good things and their bad things, usually the weight and the uncertainty with quality sometimes, but I still freaking love them. And this is Gomez in space. And it does look kind of fun, going for a full big bang of Star Wars style here. And what they often do with their reveals is they will hint towards the next figure coming out. And clearly we've got like a Roach Vader coming up here as well. So if you want to start building a cosmic type Gomez display, oh my goodness, I just thought, of course, these will go perfectly next to Cosmic Legions as well. Dang it! I love integrating different lines, and also I hate it because it's just more avenues to spend money on. But yeah, go over to Gomez.com or Mezco.com even. You can check out the full product details that are there at the moment. I love these stop motion trailers. They just look the business, and yeah, this is quite an exciting reveal. There's a new name in the action figure game, 1/6 scale game at least, Syndicate Toys, and they have revealed their Pumpkinhead 1/6 scale figure. Just previews so far, but you can take a little look. It's just this first single image, so you can't get too much of an idea as to what it's really going to involve, but it's interesting to see another name pop up and a classic old 80s sci-fi, I was going to say icon. Pumpkinhead's not really an icon, but he's sort of a fan favorite deep cut creature feature type monster. McFarlane Toys made a 1/12 scale Pumpkinhead way back in the long ago in the 90s in their Movie Maniacs line. Now you're getting a 1/6 scale version, and yeah, I'm going to watch this space closely and see what more information we get. For all you Jurassic Park fans out there, the Hammond Collection has revealed images of their Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus figure. $84.99, going to be released later this year. And look, I've got my Jurassic Park T-Rex, and it's one of the best figures, honestly, that I've ever had in my collection. Just absolutely stunning. So the Hammond Collection, it's just next level. That's why they're more expensive, because dang it, they're just really beautiful. So the size and the scale, and just look at the life. That's what it is. Life finds a way. It finds a way onto your shelf because they use like some rubbery texture around some of the joints in the mouth and the jaw to give it a more realistic kind of feel. The eyes have it all the time. And these eyes normally, like, they're very kind of pearlescent. They got a real sort of shimmer and life to them. I love what the Hammond Collection do. This looks like a beautiful addition. Even if you don't collect Jurassic Park, collect Marvel Legends, make yourself a Savage Land display. That's what you want to do. Have Wolverine fighting some of these guys. Actually, no, he shouldn't pick on Brachiosauruses. They're herbivores. That'd be a dick move. Go fight a T-Rex, Wolverine. Leave the Brachiosaurs alone. And we're back. Like any good RPG, we've got a full day-night cycle going on here. Yep, I couldn't get the video finished before going to work, so boom, you get part 2. With sleeves. And a backwards baseball cap. That's not really my MO. I don't know. I'm 42 and trying something new. We're wearing backwards baseball caps now. Deal with it. And something else you're going to have to deal with is that we're getting a third Venom movie. Sony have kind of let slip that it is penciled in to be released of October next year. So, like, start being disappointed now So when it comes out, it won't hurt so much. Also, like, you shouldn't be disappointed. You know what to expect. These Sony Venom movies are trash, garbage. They're not even fun popcorn nonsense. They're a slog to get through. I'm sure I'm not alone in saying this. Because I am not a highfalutin culture vulture. I'm pretty easy to please. But man, Venom 1 was disappointing and Venom 2 was just toilet water. I can't imagine Venom 3 being much better, but we're going to find out October next year. Something that might not be a disappointment, hopefully, is the Kraven movie, also coming from Sony, so ugh. Then again, they have just released Across the Spider-Verse to rapturous applause, so they're a real mixed bag, that studio. So, Kraven, I've got an image of Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Kraven the Hunter, so if you don't want to see that, then you can skip on to the next segment. I'll wait. Okay, you ready? Okay, here he is. Boom! Aaron Taylor-Johnson looking pretty Kravenish, I guess. There's not really too much to go on, but I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, I'll include that. Why the heck not? No big lion's mane waistcoat or anything like that. Not too classic from the comics. I mean, you would kind of expect that. He's got more of a Crocodile Dundee sort of look to him. You can't tell too much from this, but it's just curious. Got a little tooth necklace there as well. You know, really ties the whole outfit together. But there you go. That's our first look at him in a Kraven costume, not just hanging onto the side of a car. And honestly, I like Aaron Taylor-Johnson. I think he's good. Will Sony put him in a good movie? Well, time's going to tell. Transformers are currently tearing up the silver screen with Rise of the Beasts, and they're going to be having, and you know what? I'm going to put a little spoiler warning on this as well, okay? If you don't want to hear about the post-credit scene in Transformers Rise of the Beasts, you can skip on to the next chapter again, all right? But it's kind of all over the internet at the moment, so here we go. Post-credit scene, the main human character from the movie is recruited or invited to join G.I. Joe. Boom! We got ourselves a shared cinematic universe. G.I. Joe and Transformers, it makes perfect sense. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. And that's kind of the big reveal. I've not even seen it yet, but I've just seen it reported online. So I gave you a warning to skip on if you didn't want to, but I'm all for Transformers and G.I. Joe up on the big screen. We really haven't got a decent G.I. Joe movie. They've both been, well, actually three with the Snake Eyes, all pretty flawed in one regard or another. If we pair them up with Transformers, get a whole fun universe going, that might just work. Honestly, I'll be intrigued to see. Going over to comic books now, and sticking with Transformers and G.I. Joe, Image Comics now have acquired the licenses for both of these properties, and they're going to be starting off their own comic book shared universe incorporating the two. So, Robert Kirkman's Image Comics kind of offshoot, there's a comic called Void Wars. Okay, so that's coming out now, and that's apparently where we're going to get the first glimpse of Transformers and G.I. Joe. And then in October, we're going to get Transformers 1, which will tie into the G.I. Joe crossovers. Basically, it's a good time to be a Transformers G.I. Joe fan, is what I'm saying. There's a whole lot more to the story, but this is more news bites. So, yeah, coming October, shared universe, comic book, Image, Robert Kirkman of The Walking Dead, Transformers, G.I. Joe. It's a lot of things to get excited about. Speaking of Rise of the Beasts, as we were earlier, if you go to selected AMC theaters, you can get yourself an Optimus Prime popcorn holder and Optimus Prime drink cup. And these look awesome. I love this kind of nonsense. I mean, when you take it home, it still has practical value. You can put anything in there. You can turn it into a nice window box. You can make it as a storage organizer, I don't know, or just have it as a diorama piece. I mean, it's not like it's gigantic 1/12 scale, but it's a fun little thing there. It really is. I think other smokestacks, straws. Oh, you guys, you're killing me here. I hate to think that, eventually this kind of plastic stuff will be, filling up landfills in God knows how many years from now. But in this one brief fleeting moment in time, oh, it's so much fun. This is a really cool looking Prime truck and trailer, and I guarantee you know what? You eat your popcorn out of that, it's going to taste a little bit sweeter. And speaking of comic books to get excited about, Dan Slott, the creator of the superior Spider-Man, said that this fall will see the return of the eponymous, is that the right word? I'll use it anyway. Superior Spider-Man. I don't need to tell you, Superior Spider-Man was Spider-Man when Otto Octavius's mind, easy for me to say, was controlling the body of Peter Parker. And it was eventually, he was written out and replaced by the original Dr. Octopus in some of the most garbage storytelling we've seen over the last couple of years. But it seems like he might be getting a reprieve. I hope this isn't just a little tease, a little one-shot or flashback. I hope that they are bringing back the character, who eventually renamed himself Elliot Tolliver. He had a different face, a different body. Regardless, just getting the Superior Spider-Man back in comics would make me very happy, because he has one of the most badass costumes with the Waldo legs as well, and just, oh man, the original Superior Spider-Man run, mwah, comic book gold. I'm excited to see more. Over in pro wrestling news, and WWE have updated a whole bunch of their belts. Roman Reigns has got a new undisputed Universal World Bells and Whistles Championship. How can you call it undisputed when you literally just made a new World Championship over on Raw? That's literally the meaning of disputing it. You only make yourselves look dumb. And also the women's title has now had a big makeover as well, bright and gold and shiny. They don't get points for originality with their belts. They don't look great, but they love to do the updates. So there you go, WWE. You got your corporate logo out there. You can put in photo ops with celebrities, and really that's what their WWE title is all about now, really. That's why I tend to watch my wrestling elsewhere. Over in Cosplay Corner, this is one that's really fun to highlight. Non-Summer Jack is a ludicrously beautiful cosplayer, but this is the first time I've seen someone do a cosplay of a random action figure, not of a comic book character or a movie character or anything like that, but an action figure. So this anime girl, Milk Tea Girl, who I believe only exists in action figure form, boom! She's then done a cosplay of this character, and you know what? I'm not mad about it. But really also just big double thumbs up for doing an action figure cosplay. That kind of mashes my potatoes. And over in Custom Corner, I want to give a shout out to Symbiote Seeker, who I've been following for many years now. Friend of the show, actually spoken with him plenty of times. One of the best customizers in the game, quite frankly. And he has made this awesome looking Savage Spider-Man. Hoo-ha! The Savage Spider-Man story, as you can probably tell from the hideous looking development that Peter Parker has found himself in, is a what-if type story where, yeah, he goes full spider, and it's pretty damn good. And what I love so much about this custom in particular is that Symbiote Seeker, in his mad genius, has been able to actually recreate the style of pencils used in that comic book. It's not just an action figure version of this character, but with the lines and the angles of the sculpting that he's done and the painting, it actually completely perfectly recreates the look of the pencils from the comics. So freaking cool. Symbiote Seeker, can of coke to you. Go follow him on Instagram. Instagram? Yes, where you can follow imps, fairies, and other pixies. And also badass Marvel Legends customizers. I don't know why I said Marvel Legends in particular. Any kind of customizer. He makes awesome things. This is just the tip of the iceberg right here. Go check him out. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a bit of a crazy all over the place kind of episode, but you know what? I had fun making it, and I hope you had fun watching it. If you did, then hit that thumbs up button. That really helps out the channel. If you want to go one step beyond, you can go on over to my Patreon, toss a couple of bucks my way, and that means I won't get interrupted by having to go to work when I make these videos. I can just stay here and talk rubbish into the camera all day. That's the dream right there. We're not there yet. But thank you so much for watching. Comment below about all your thoughts on the stories covered. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.